He's gonna learn. He's gonna learn.
Come here, girl. Come here. Come here. How you guys doing? My name is Jeremy. I'm with NOHO Recovery. Where I came from, though, was Chicago. West Side. I lived in Humboldt Park, born and raised out there. Got into a lot of trouble out there just for the fact of who my family was. I grew up with a family that was very into violence, gangs. It didn't help me grow with morals and standards that I should have. With that being said, I didn't know any other way out other than resorting to just keep doing what I'm doing, which was at the time getting into trouble, in and out of jail, drugs, alcohol, and most importantly, something that is hard for me to live down was the fact of me hurting people. Even till this day, it's hard for me to sit with those demons, I guess, and it's just a battle, a constant battle, even till today. After some time, I realized that there was an issue, there was a problem, and it was deep inside of me. And after the storm kind of settled and I was laying in the wake of my destruction, I realized that there was a problem and I was the problem. I ended up finding some help and I came out here to California. I just knew that if I stayed in Chicago, there was gonna be one of two things happen. I was either gonna end up dead or I was gonna be living in jail. And the unknown to me was better than those two options. Getting clean, getting sober, trying to get the tools to actually live a better life than what I was living. Since then, I've gained a little over 2 years sober and clean before I then regressed and making a really big mistake. And that mistake led me into dying. Now, when I woke up in the hospital, I knew at that point there was no such thing as blind faith, not in my eyes anymore. Since then, I've stayed on the right path, ended up doing 12 steps, just trying to stick to my guns, trying to stay sober, trying to be better than who I was and trying to make healthy connections. How I first ran into NOHO was the house owner of the sober living that I'm at now. I've known him for a while. He's actually helped me get sober this time around. But before that, when I met him, I had a little over 2.5 years, almost 2.5 years sober. Then he learned that NOHO Recovery was actually a really good facility where people will actually gain the tools to stay sober. And from that point on, I checked it out, and I can honestly say it's probably one of the best facilities that I've ever seen. Yes, I have been to other treatment centers or any different facilities, IOP related facilities other than NOHO. A lot of them they treated people like numbers. They definitely were like, oh, you come in here, you stay for the first like 4 or 5 months, and then after that, when you're dropped, they kick you out, basically. And I'm not saying that they do things the wrong way, but what I'm saying is that NOHO has cracked a way to do this where people could actually connect with each other and be open with each other. With that being in itself, I mean, when people leave NOHO and like for the day and IOP is over with, the community who just went through that session together, they have something to talk about that's more than just war stories and drug related things, you know? At that point, it's just like they built up and they've sharpened each other's tools, and from that point on, it's like the community who was just in that session or the community of NOHO Recovery is now everybody is willing to fight addiction together. What I've seen from NOHO was that they don't treat you like numbers. They actually treat you like people. And regardless if the time has come where you move on from their therapeutic program, they're still down to help you. Like, they're still there for you. They try to help you get your ID. They try to help you get into school. They'll Uber you back and forth from job interviews. They'll write you recommendation letters, anything they can do to help you stay on the right path and keep moving forward. And that's honestly something that's very rare that I haven't seen in a lot of facilities that I've seen. What NOHO helped me with was the fact of not only was the therapy great, they understood that I had an underlying passion, and that underlying passion was music. Since I was younger, I always loved doing music, and then when I told Narek about it, Narek already told me, he was like, I've been working on something. I've been trying to open up a studio so people who have that passion can actually go in there and record their music. And once I heard that, I thought, hands down, I'm not giving this up. I'm not gonna give this up. I like where his head's at. I like the fact that this isn't just another facility to them. This isn't just, oh, let me give you the therapy you need and then get you out of here. From that point on, I knew that he actually listens to people. Like, NOHO actually listens to people. And whenever I wanted to go make a song, he would Uber me there, he would Uber me back, he would ask me, hey, can I hear the new song that you're working on? Like, he's very engaging with people. And that's very rare to find, even outside of treatment. It's funny that that's a question, because this week I had 2 friends commit suicide. Both were drug related, and I kind of wish that they would have sought help. There's a lot of people back at home in Chicago. They know that I'm sober now, and I just wish that they would reach out. One thing that I would want to tell them is that you're not alone, that I was there. I was at that point where I wanted to commit suicide. Luckily for me, I reached out and somebody helped me. Somebody took me out of literally the belly of the beast, and they put me into a place where people actually care, where I actually connected with people, where I didn't have to hide myself anymore. I really hope this gets back home. I really hope this gets to Illinois, because this could be changing for you too. For a really long time, I was trying to do this whole getting sober and clean thing by myself. It worked for the most part, and then it caught up with me. One thing I can say that NOHO has done for me was that even after that loneliness feeling caught up to me and I ended up relapsing, one thing that NOHO did for me was let me know that they're still there. They reached out to me, they got me the help I needed. At the time I didn't have insurance, but they wanted to make sure that I was okay. So when I got out of treatment, after I was done detoxing, they ended up accepting me into the program, making sure I was there, making sure that I was okay. They were checking up on me. They made sure that everything was going okay in my life, in my mind, and if there was any problems, they wanted to know about it, because they didn't want another person to end up going out or end up dead. And I'm grateful for that. I count my blessings, and that's definitely one big blessing that I had. And I know for a fact that I'm not gonna be the only one they do that with, and it's gonna be great. I know for a fact they're gonna build a very strong community, and I hope that down the line, I can help with that change. I am Jeremy, and I really, really hope this helps somebody.
Yeah. Home feels so far from me, but I found my peace, yeah. This that new life hustle, cause I'm fed up, not surrounded by solutions, all I'm proud.